We're continuing on now with our events in our web components, and we're going to look at a child to parent pattern which we've seen before. So if we go into the HTML file and open this up, let's press F12. So basically we have a child component here. When that is clicked, that sends information into the parent container and displays information down here. We can see the mouse events, the custom event that has been fired, and the detailed data sent into custom event. It's just making a random number here. So you can see that in action. Now if we have a look at the code on the page side, we've got our child component here with our script tag. We've got our container class. This is where the output will go in here. We've seen it there. And we've also seen a div ID output down here as well. So when an event is fired, the parent will hear it, get the information, and then just do something with it. So let's have a look at the code for the component. Again, template style with our button here. That's our child component 1. We're attaching our shadow root. We're getting a list. And our connected callback here, we're getting a link to our element button. Let me just comment this out initially and see how this works. Let's come up here. Yep, that's not quite, that's from somewhere else before. So let's just delete that. We're clicking, when we click on that button, we're just indicating that we're starting. We're getting the event. We're creating some event data, a little text message with a random number. Then we're dispatching the event, calling this on the class component. It's called child1click. That's the name of our event. The event data, bubbles, and compose. Though we did see in a previous lesson that we didn't need to have compose true here. So I'm going to now change that. There may have been a change in the specs. So if we come back here, let's just refresh the page, even though it's light server. That all seems to work fine. So it seems actually compose true is no longer needed. And there we have it. So that is the child parent. We emit an event. The parent listens for it. And the parent up top here listens. It's selecting the child component, making a query on it, and it's adding an event listener at that effective boundary. When it hears it, it proves it out. But you can also put the event listener further up on the container, and there's an example code here. So let's comment this out here, and let's reinstate this one here. Because if we look at our DOM tree, we can see the parent container is a parent to the child. We can listen here, or as the event bubbles, we can listen up the tree. If we had siblings along here, we may not be able to listen to it because it bubbles up through the DOM tree. So let's just refresh this and see if this works. That's working fine. So you've got two opportunities now really to actually where you listen. You can listen on the component itself on the page, or in a higher element further high up in the DOM tree. So I'm just going to revert those changes, save it. Let's just check once more time. Yep, we're getting random numbers. So this is the component, this is the page here, and that is the child to parent design pattern. We've seen that before. So we'll end this, and next we'll move into sibling to sibling, because at the moment what we've been looking at is a child to parent. Although children can communicate to children if they're wired up that way, as these are isolated units, the design pattern that's best is child to parent, and then the parent then responds by checking the properties on the child. Props down, events up. So see you in the next lesson.